last year, the media was swept with a story about a young woman, Chidimma, and she was stirring controversy in South Africa for not being South African enough. So she ended up being kicked out of the Miss South Africa competition, and she went on to win Miss Universe Nigeria. Hmm. I have a feeling she won out of spite, but before I say anything else, let's watch this video from ENC.
Chidimma, who faced backlash in South Africa due to her heritage, has been crowned Miss Universe Nigeria. She withdrew from the Miss South Africa pageant, citing safety concerns after a Home Affairs investigation found her mother may have committed fraud and identity theft when registering her birth. Adechina reflected on her journey after scooping the title.
This crown is not just for beauty, but is a call for action, and that is unity. Thank you so much. This journey has been a tough journey for me, and I am so proud of myself, and I'm really grateful for all the love and the support. I just don't even know what to say. I think the excitement, the emotions are really everywhere right now, but I'm just like really grateful for both countries and Africa in general, because the love and support was not only coming from South Africa or Nigeria, it was coming from Ghana, literally every single way as well. And I'm so proud and I'm so happy. Like I said, this is something that I've always wanted, and I'm really glad that I have a second chance as well at achieving it.
So this story about Chidimma, I feel like Nigeria took her and gave her Miss Universe just to spite us, to make us feel like, wow, we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have chased her out of the country. And yes, maybe it was wrong for us to take someone who grew up and was born in South Africa and say she's not South African. But we should also consider what her mother did for her to be here in the first place. It was a crime. There are people out there who have their identities stolen. And when your identity is stolen, it means you can't move on in life. You are basically an illegal citizen or a dead person then. Because you don't have an ID, you don't have nothing to show that you exist in the country. And if you don't have anything that shows you exist, you might as well not do anything. You can't apply for work, you can't get birth certificates for your children, you can't do anything. So if it's true that Chidimma's mother stole somebody's ID to become a South African citizen, then that person must have had a similar story to this one.
Another South African is failing to move forward in life due to stolen identity.
In Johannesburg is facing an uncertain future after finding out that her identity was stolen. She has been unable to apply for tertiary education for next year.
Well, this has affected me because I feel quite demotivated. Everyone wants to matriculate and move to the next stage. But I feel like with this situation, it's kind of hard to move forward because you never know if you matriculate or that other person's identity will hinder you from success. Yeah.
Sadly, this story is not the only one. There are many South Africans who are suffering like this girl. Remember, one of those people lost her identity to Chidimma Adechina, and when people could smell the rot through their screens, they were called xenophobic and racist. The ANC is the main reason why this problem even exists in our country.
Okay, the ANC story, that one is a separate issue on its own because the ANC has destroyed literally everything in the country. There's unemployed doctors, teachers, nurses. It's a mess. Basically, it's a mess because even though people are unemployed, the people who are working are overwhelmed because they are understaffed. And the government keeps saying they don't have money. But I digress. The problem here is that this 17-year-old girl cannot move on anymore. She can't apply for university. She didn't even matriculate. Maybe she won't even be able to go to college. What is she going to do now? Get a menial job with a menial salary and live the rest of her life like that? That would be horrible. I don't think anyone wants that. So, who is to blame? What are we supposed to do about this? If the ANC isn't taking this seriously and these idiots keep voting for it, this country is gonna get worse. My God. A few months ago, I posted the same video that shows Ramaphosa's legacy, where he basically destroyed the country. Since he became president, there's a lot of things that have been going wrong here in South Africa. The next thing that I want to say is probably going to get my video taken down. So I'm not going to say it. In any case, please like and subscribe.
Eager to give South African IDs to people like the Guptas when the people of South Africa were suffering due to these identity theft crimes. Let's not forget about the suffering due to the Guptas themselves. Gigaba focused on naturalizing the Guptas and making them citizens. To the ANC ministers, money mattered more than the citizens of this country.
And it's found that former Home Affairs Minister Malusi Gigaba's approval of the early naturalization of the Gupta family was fraudulent.
Welcome back. Parliamentarians have found that members of the Gupta family committed fraud when they applied for early naturalization, and that former Minister Malusi Gigaba was wrong to approve their application to become citizens of South Africa. That is the naturalization. The Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs has recommended that the citizenship granted to Ajay Gupta's family be revoked. This after it probed the applications of Jay Gupta's wife Shivani, a mother, and two sons during Gigaba's first stint as Home Affairs Minister.
Chidimma was a beneficiary of corruption of a South African within Home Affairs.
When I made it through to top 16, it became a huge spark where people were like, how is a Chidimma South African, you know? So then people were not happy, or should I say South Africans were not happy, and felt like I wasn't a good representative for South Africa, and I was stealing a South African spot, which I felt that was really unfair because I am also South African. And closer to the finale, unfortunately, certain things had to happen before, and a statement came out as well, which is the reason why I had to withdraw from the competition.
So for clarity, how are you a South African?
I was born in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, to Nigerian parents?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
She was a beneficiary because of the corruption conducted by some relatives of hers.
You have South African friends. You went to school, primary, secondary school. That's like your life. So do you feel somewhat betrayed by all that happened? Okay, these are my people. I mean, yes, Nigeria. You have our name. Your parents are Nigerians, yeah, but you didn't grow up in Nigeria. You're practically South African. So was there a sense of betrayal that these are my people? Why would they do this to me?
Yes, for sure, definitely. I'm not going to lie about it. I felt betrayed. I felt hurt about everything because I spent 23 years of my life in South Africa. So
somewhere in South Africa is a person who missed out on opportunities because of Chidimma and her parents. Oh, but Chidimma is the victim, and that South African is just a number.
So at the time, we thought maybe there was a system problem, and let's try at VERTS. So we tried VERTS. With VERTS, the moment we put in the ID number, then it just automatically said that she doesn't qualify before she even has an opportunity to put in her own results. So at that time, that's when we realized that something is wrong with the ID.
And you were registering online, trying to get a space to study. What were you going to study?
I was going to study multimedia, specifically photography, because that's what interests me.
Many of these.
So now we've lost a photographer, a potential photographer, because of this. And that girl has lost her life. Her dreams have all been shattered because of a selfish person who left their country, came here, took somebody else's identity and then decided to just carry on as if nothing happened. We can't encourage this. We cannot encourage this. Everybody else who wants to do that, just know that if you have a stolen identity, your child cannot do anything prominent in this country. Because if they do, we will find out. And your child will be treated the same way that Chidimma was treated. My God, I have to stop insulting. Anyway, please subscribe for more.